Oh my goodness, friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Elizabeth and this is The Joyful Sojourn, a community of people that love stationery and planning and doing things creatively. And if that sounds like it's up your alley, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Do keep in mind though, I am not a loyalist to any brand, so I show a lot of different companies on my channels. If you're looking for a channel that is exclusively the brand I'm sharing with you today, this is not the place to be. I show a lot of different planners. I use a lot of different planners and journals and notebooks. I use a bunch of different mediums on paper. And so I'm always all over the place. If you are interested in the grab bag of YouTube channels, that's probably how I would describe myself. And I say that because this is the first time ever, I think, on my channel, which I've had for 3 or 4 years at this point. I've never had an Erin Condren video, not once, and not on purpose. I had never purchased an Erin Condren planner in my life until the launch that just happened. And so I have purchased things from Erin Condren in the past, a productivity notebook. I've purchased accessories like desk accessories. I think that the Erin Condren website is pretty diverse when it comes to a lot of extras like photo albums and acrylic organizers for your desks, different types of bags and pouches and stuff. Like they have a lot of stuff. So I've always only gotten accessories, and I finally bought a planner. And when I bought that planner, I got a coupon, and I used that coupon to purchase another planner that was half off because it was partway through the year. And so I have 2 planners to show you. I already know based on these that one of them I'm probably going to use, the other one I'm not. I don't know. We're going to get into it. So we're going to look at what essentially was 2 Erin Condren orders. I'm not an affiliate for them, but I had a discount code from the first purchase. But there are tons of like diehard Erin Condren people out on the internet, and I would encourage you to use their discount codes and affiliate links if they have one, just to support their content. So I'm going to share with you what I purchased, and then just in preparation for this, I ordered some stuff from HanCanPlan, and she threw in a bunch of extras so I could show you a little bit more. So I did purchase everything myself, but I did get additional freebies from Hannah, and we'll go through those. They are for Erin Condren. We'll see how they work with this stuff. So we're going to look at stickers. We're going to look at my order. Let's start with my order first. So let's start with Erin Condren. We'll get everything out of the box, and then we'll do some pen tests. I know that there have already been a million Erin Condren like life planner launch release videos. So you've probably seen a lot of these items already, but you haven't heard them from my perspective as a non-Erin Condren user. So maybe this will be fun. So let's get everything out. First, I picked up the dual tip pastel pens and the magnetic bookmark set, which is so funny because y'all, I have a million magnetic bookmarks, but this I purchased for science. I always say for science if I want an excuse to buy something and try it, because it's for the YouTubes. I have cloth and paper ones. I've got Oli Clips, and we're gonna, I don't know, I guess compare these. I don't need these. I already have a bunch, but I was curious, something about the wider squared shape of this made me kind of like it as a tab, whereas these I don't really use like tabs. So we'll play with the magnetic bookmarks. I also picked up the premium PlanyPack, and honestly, I also don't need this, but I was curious and I was like, let's just make a video out of all the stuff. We'll just get all the things. So we're gonna see how this fits, and I really like leather, and I know this is the vegan leather material. So I'm curious to see how that feels, if it feels kind of plasticky. So we've got that. Then I picked out the new dashboard planner. I did have it customized, and I changed the color, the default color for this. And again, I'm not an Erin Condren channel. I'm not an Erin Condren expert. So I don't remember what all the names are of all these things. So, look at this as like a newbie experience, okay? I think it's Align. Is it Align? I think that's what it's called, maybe the neutral version, but I got a neutral one. This default was like a gray color, but I changed it to, look, it matches my nails. That was not on purpose, but clearly I like a really, if I'm going to do pink, I want it to be dusty and dirty. I like a dirty pink. So I did change the color on this, and then I added my Joyful Sojourn here at the bottom. So here is the planner. It's a dashboard planner. And then oh, you know what we're missing? Hold on, we're missing, I got two sets of pens. Hold on a second. Oh, I'm going to be super bummed if I've already misplaced my my other pen set. I did. Oh wait, maybe it's in here. Hold on. Hold the phone. Yes, it's right there. That was close. They have three different sets of these dual tip markers. There was the 12 pack, which was the best value, but they were more traditional, like rainbow colors that match the different months in the Erin Condren. I don't want a color coded thing. I don't want to have lots of color in my planners because I decorate them, right? So I don't want to go over the top with too much colored print. But the 12 pack is great if you want to match your pens each month with the colors in each month's divider and like weekly sections. Since I'm not doing that, I didn't pick up those colors, and I was more interested in these ones anyways. So we have the pastel and the earth tones, which were more expensive, kind of a bummer. Value-wise, these are more expensive than the 12 pack, but I like these colors more, so I got them both. Jumping back over to this. So when you order from Erin Condren, maybe the first time you order a life planner, or maybe whenever you buy a life planner, in that box comes a postcard with an additional 20% off your next order. And so I immediately used that to purchase this. This is a monthly planner that was a 2025 planner. Okay, so we're already several months in, but it's just a monthly. So it's got a monthly, well, we'll look at it. But what pushed me over the edge to buy this, and it ended up being like $11, something like that, was I was looking at this cover. I think it's called Wisteria. I mean, clearly we got a vibe going on here. But I thought this cover was really pretty, and I've never felt their like vegan leather snap-in covers. And so I looked up this cover, and this cover, if you were to just buy this as a snap-in cover, like just to add on to change out your covers, this cover was more expensive to just buy the cover than it was to get the monthly planner with the coupon. And so I was like, well, even if I don't like the monthly planner, I kind of like having this additional cover option. So I did pick up the monthly planner, and I added a custom section at the back. And already I'm like, oh gosh, I think we're going to play with cutting our coil and taking some pages out and rearranging it, which I may or may not do on camera. I don't know. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. And then the last item I picked up were these snap-in pocket dashboards. We'll pop one of these in and see how they go. But what I liked about this was it gives you some tabs up at the top, and then there's a clear plastic pocket on the front. And I was thinking of, you can put sticker sheets in here and stuff like that, but I was thinking of creating like vision boards or like some sort of like board that talks about my why for why I quit my job and what I want my priorities to be in life right now. Print that out, slide it in here, and just have it kind of as a decorative dashboard in one of these planners. And it's a set of 3, so I thought that was a good deal. So let's get the box out of the way. We're gonna look at everything, then we'll look at the stickers that are new from HanCanPlan that should be fitting in the dashboard planner. So let's start with, let's actually start with the pens, just to get the pens and the bookmark, or the magnetic bookmark, just to get these guys out of the way, get the packaging out. Now, I've already played with these a little bit, and to be honest, I didn't understand at first what the lure was or why people were so excited about the dual tip markers being back. And I have to say, having tested it on Erin Condren paper, I totally get it now, because the Erin Condren paper is super toothy and thick, and it's got kind of a creamy color, and something about the texture of the Erin Condren paper with the felt tip side specifically for me feels amazing. And so I bought these in my first order. And then when I placed the second one with the 20% off, I picked these up because I was like, oh my gosh, I think I love these. I have not tested them on normal paper. And we're going to test just to show you the colors on this notepad I picked up from Archer and Olive's newest release. This is not 160 GSM paper. It is lighter, but I just wanted to see how it feels, how these pens feel on a smoother paper. And if I like these as much on this as I loved them on the Erin Condren paper. And I could totally see why people were excited about these as Erin Condren planners, because these are great on that planner. But are they good on other things? I don't know. We'll find out. But these pens are labeled, which I highly appreciate. So this color is denim, and it's a dual tip marker. So we've got like a felt tip pen. The closest I can say or compare this to is it gives me Papermate Flare vibes. So if you like the Papermate Flare feel, then you're going to like this side. It's a little bit thicker, but it writes in that same way. And then on this other side, you have a plastic nib. So let me just show on this one, that felt tip. Okay. So yeah, I think Papermate Flare is probably the closest I can say. So this is denim, and this is such a firm tip for a felt tip that it feels good. It feels good writing. I don't know how to explain it. And actually even, I prefer the thicker side to the thinner side. This one is terracotta. Did I spell that right? 2 T's? Terracotta, yes. I don't know what it is, but these, I really like these. This is my first time purchasing the dual tip markers. I know they have like a cult following, and I'm behind the times, but well, I'm here now, so there you go. This guy is Marigold. And I don't know what it is, but I feel like I write differently with them too. Like I like my writing better. It's funny, I'm learning that when I'm working in a thinner paper, like a Japanese style paper, like Tomoe River paper, I prefer the 0.38 Uniball Uni P pens. So a really fine tip. But as I'm getting into the thicker papers and the more toothy papers, I like this thicker tip. So I think I'm going to be one of those people that like, I will change out my pens depending on the material of the paper. Not because I'm worried about bleeding or ghosting, but because the writing experience of certain types of pens on different types of paper, it's all different, you know? So I am loving this. This is lipstick, right? Lipstick. That's a pretty color. And I will say, surprisingly, I thought I wouldn't like it on this kind of smoother paper, but I like the way that these feel on the smoother paper. I'm curious, can you stack? Yes, you can stack your lids. And then this one looks like a heather, and it is a heather. This one is heather. This colorway is so pretty. I just wish that Erin Condren had thought simply about the cost per pen instead of jacking up the price on the better colors. I mean, it's a business, right? But instead of jacking up the price on the better colors, just like if this is going to be a 6-pack, have it be relative or compatible in pricing to the 12-pack. Why make the 12-packs pen price per pen so much less than these ones? In bulk, buying it in bulk, I guess. I don't know. So let's draw a little line here. I'm gonna have to write a little bit smaller. Oh, it's just so satisfying. I love these pens. They might be, well, I don't know if I can say they're my favorite of the items that I picked up. Okay, let's check these out. So this is the pastel set. So that first set was earth tones, and this is the pastel. So funny to have charcoal in the pastel collection, but I'm not mad at it. I think it's nice to have something a little bit deeper. Let's go backwards to blues down to pinks. This next one is powder blue. I think I'm gonna like this one. I like denim better. Powder blue. This video will be way too long if I take the time to try these pens on my different planner, so I'm not going to do that. Maybe I'll do that in a reel over on Instagram. Ooh, spruce is lovely. Actually, I'm kind of wondering if that could be a highlighter color, sort of. Yeah, so maybe okay, so when we get into these finer tips with these lighter colors, it's going to get a little bit harder to see for my aging eyes. We have French Violet. That's pretty. Definitely doesn't match the barrel, but I'm not mad at it. I actually prefer the color of the ink to the barrel. But yeah, maybe I'll do a real testing these pens on Archer and Olive, on my AMW planner, on my plum paper. I've got like Astrology. I've got the newer notebooks from Cloth and Paper. And we can see if these are good universal pens. This is Rose Pink. Rose Pink is definitely a light one, guys. I wouldn't even bother with it. I wouldn't even bother with it in the fine tip. I think it's pretty in the thicker, but I don't know why they would have it be so light for the fine tip. It's like so hard to see. The last one is Sand. I'm probably gonna like this one. Yeah, I like this one. This is Sand. And again, I think it's gonna be so light. Yeah. The fine tips are useless in these super light colors, but they are pretty in the thicker. But here are the colors. Obviously, like this colorway is lovely, but I like these as well. So these are the pens. I'm going to go ahead and say these are a win for me. I'm just not loving the price differentiation between these and the 12 packs. And I do think that these two lighter ones, Rose Pink and Sand, although fine in the thicker tip, they don't translate well in the finer tip. So those are the pens. Glad to have them in my collection, and I probably will use them exclusively in an Erin Condren planner because I think while these are fine, and actually they didn't bleed or ghost at all on this paper, which might be, it doesn't say, I don't know if it's 120 GSM or 80 GSM. It's definitely thinner than a typical Archer and Olive paper, but I mean, they performed well on this paper, but there was something about how the felt tip feels on the toothier paper that felt really great. So I'm actually just going to straight get rid of this packaging because I know I love these and I'm going to keep them. So in the recycle bin they go. Actually, I don't know if that can be recycled. Okay, let's talk about the bookmarks. There were 3 different color collections. I didn't like any of the color collections. Like, I wish that there was a neutral one. I'm a boring girl, okay? I like neutral colors. Even these pastel ones are not neutral enough for me. But I knew that I was going with a neutral planner, and so I was like, I'll just pick the ones that look the lightest. So it is a 3-piece pack. The designs are different. So the aqua-y blue and the really soft pinky color have the asterisks all over them in gold foiling, and then this kind of lilac blue has just one asterisk in the corner, and they do feel pretty good. As far as the magnet goes, there's a shadow that makes it seem like the magnet is round, but then there's a strip that also makes it look like it could be a rectangle as well. So what we want to do is actually test this on a planner. We're going to test it actually on this guy because we haven't gotten into the Erin Condren planners yet, but let's just test these bookmarks out. So this is a plum paper planner. So 1, 2, well, let's just take, now I have a monthly, and then I have, how many add-ons? The fitness add-on and the monthly cleaning and meal planning. So I have 3 additional pages on my monthly. Let's just see, will this hold a whole month, I should say. It will keep it together, but there's not much magnet strength at that point. Just curious. We're going to try cloth and paper. Okay. I feel like the cloth and paper. Okay, the cloth and paper is better than the Erin Condren. Let's try. It's a mini Oli Clip. Let's try. Ooh, I forgot I have the dot ones. Let's try a typical small Oli Clip. That slips and slides. Could that be the material? Let me try this other cloth and paper one. that won't even hold that much paper. So honestly, these ones feel very similar, the Oli Clip and the Erin Condren. But when we're looking at, it could just be the length actually, because the magnet for this guy is lower down. I bet that's what it is. Okay, well, kudos to Cloth and Paper. Because it is a longer magnet, it's going to hold the paper better. See how this one, you know, it's got it's a half an inch shorter. So that's interesting. Let's go to divider plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 pages plus the divider. Let's grab this guy. I mean, when you're just trying to pull it, it feels strong. Actually, that one feels significantly stronger. Okay, that's interesting. This one doesn't feel as strong as this one. What? And now I've lost my number of pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's just all right for me. These are not the best magnetic clips, I'll just say that. If you don't have any magnetic clips, these are excellent. But if you have a collection of clips from other sub boxes, like the Cloth and Paper sub box, even Jane's Agenda, if you've purchased these Oli clips on Etsy when they have sales, like I have, you don't need the Erin Condren one. I'm just going to say these are all right. They're all right if you're new to Magnetic Bookmarks. I am curious, though. Let me do one more thing. I don't know. I want to just see how this feels as actually being like a page finder. It's pretty puffy, too, actually. That's something else to consider. It's puffy. So let's look at the, you can see the distance there. Look how much kind of bulk that adds. Let's do the same thing with an Oli Clip. Come on. Let's not break a nail over this. So the Oli Clip is going to be a lot thinner. And then just try this Cloth and Paper guy. Going to be about the same thickness with the Cloth and Paper one. So the lowest profile is going to be your Oli Clips. And they even do these like little dot ones if you want it to be like floating in the middle of the page like that, which is pretty cool. So review of the bookmarks, I would say if you don't have any, they're fine for maybe up to 10 pages. If you already have some from other brands, I would not buy these ones unless you're looking at the color collection and you're like, I love red, or I love this lavender color, like I have to have it. But I wouldn't say that they are essential. They are not an essential purchase. Save, oh, there goes that planner. Save your money, friends. If you already have magnetic bookmarks, save your money. Okay, let's look at the PlanyPack. I'm kind of expecting this to be very similar, a save your money situation, but I had to, guys, for science. I had to give it a go. That, or what I could do is keep all of my Erin Condren pens together. I've said this before, I like to keep brands together as much as possible. This is the navy one. And I guess it looks navy. The hardware is gold. I love that this tab is big. You have a nice amount of real estate to grab and to pull. I like that it's a chunky, wide zipper. I don't like the color of the zipper. It's a very yellow gold. So personal preference, I get picky because I review products and I have access to a lot of products and I see a lot of things. So I tend to be more picky than most people. So that would be one kind of thing. I wish that this wasn't such a yellow gold. We have a pocket on the front, and I probably wouldn't add I wouldn't add bulky things. Like I wouldn't add pens because you're going to start to misshape the vegan leather down here. This would be definitely just for adding flat things like sticker books or sticker packs. Here's a paper pad. Which I could fit, but even that's a little bit too thick because this is going to stretch that out. So I would do like a few clutch sticker sheets maybe in that. And then the inside is super basic, in my opinion, like super simple. So you've got a mesh pocket on this side, you've got a pocket in the back, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got 6 pen loops. Now, as someone who is obsessed with her Maple and Lark activity bins, this isn't a lot of real estate for storage. But they have released B6 size-ish notebooks in a thinner paper. And I think for an on-the-go that's what we should do, is test out one of my B6 notebooks. I think if you use this as a pack for holding a notebook and some pens and stickers, I would like that a lot more because, yeah, there's not a lot of storage in here. Is it just me? I know we're starting to mix things up, but I'll just do this anyways. Once you put the pens in, you're really kind of blocking this section right here. And then we still have room here, but let me grab, like, for example, here is a B6 size Archer and Olive notebook in a cover already, and it will fit. So my thought is, if you are looking for a case for a B6 journal, instead of looking at this as like your PlanyPack for all your pens and stationery goodies to attach to your planner, for me, this doesn't meet my needs for that. It just doesn't hold enough. And even that's a little wonky. But if I was looking for a storage option to take a B6 planner on the go, I do think that this is a nice option. And honestly, this is a pretty thick notebook. There are B6s, like, let me see. Like if we went with, like, this is my, this is a common planner, right? B6 common planner. That fits perfectly. So if you've got a Tomoe River paper, just a thinner notebook, maybe a Stology, B6 Stology, this could be an easy way to carry that with some pens and then some sticker sheets. I wouldn't overly bulk it up with, I'm sure you probably could put in like washi tape, but I just feel like that's gonna, let's have it stick out that much and then see if we can still, well, we can still close it with the common planner in there. So you could, did it dent it at all? No. Let's see. Can you do washi with a hardbound Archer and Olive? You can, but I feel like we're really kind of taking it to the max. And maybe it's because it already has a cover on it. Yeah, we're taking that to the max. It can be done, though. So you could put washi on that side if you wanted to. The whole hype about this, though, is you do have an elastic strap on the back. So if you wanted to take supplies with you on the go, you just load it up and take your elastic band and stretch it over your planner. Like so. That navy's not so bad with the wisteria color. I'm not mad at that. So it is kind of nice to kind of have everything all attached. But again, I use a lot of tools and I really like the clear Maple and Lark bins. I talk about them all the time. And so I don't love that I can't see what all is in here. And I take a lot of creative play tools like, you know, I'll take a bone, I'll take Actually, let's just test this out. Let's say we want to take some scissors. Even that makes me nervous, like sliding in some blades in there. But actually the thickness of the height of the scissors is shorter than the washi tape. So that's actually just fine. I also like to take tweezers. Maybe you could slide some tweezers into one of these guys. You could. So it's not bad. You could definitely, I'm not likely to take washi on the go with me. Let's take this out. Let's put in the items I actually would take on the go with me. A bone is my essential. Tweezers, we'll just leave those there. I do like taking scissors. I love taking a ruler. Is this ruler gonna fit? Maybe not. I have shorter rulers. You could if you go diagonal. 20 centimeters. I do have a shorter guy. Is that a shorter guy? Yeah, these like cheapy kind of helix ones. That can slide in there. I know I like to take correction tape, and bonus if it'll fit a glue stick. It will, but that's going to stick out pretty far. Now, if we're not going to put a notebook in here, this will close with all of these tools on this side. Let's add our common planner here. It's a little bumpy lumpy, but I got everything on there. So if you use multiple planners, you could attach this to your big planner, and then you could throw a little Stology, a little Common Planner, a little Lauren Phelps Designs, Archer and Olive. You could throw a B6 size or smaller inside here. So I would say I'm so-so on these. Like, there were 3 different colors, I think. So, you know, if you can find a color that you like and you have a B6 size journal, I would say look at this as a cover for your B6 size notebooks with a little bit of extra room for some supplies. When I think of this as a B6 cover, hold on. No. When I think of this as a B6 cover, I like it 10 times more than if I look at this as a pouch for my supplies. So take that as you will. And that's my thought on the PlanyPack. I'll probably use this. I could see myself using it. When we open up the HanCanPlan stickers, we'll see if her sticker sheets fit in these pouches. So we'll come back to this in a little bit. Let's take a look at this. This is the last accessory, and then we'll actually open up the planners. So I hope that these are as awesome as I thought they would be. I was hoping that they had these in an A5 size to fit in my plum paper A5, but they don't. I don't know why they just do these in the larger size, because I feel like A5 people, the Daily Duo people, I feel like you guys would want these too, right? So these are snap-in pocket dashboards. It's a set of 3. I thought these were a pretty good value, to be honest. Very thick, sturdy plastic, and I'm not sure I knew this, but these pockets are double-sided, or there's a pocket on each side. So it just snaps in to your planner. Let's see how easily it snaps in. These coil people trying to do it like our disc-bound friends. But let's just pop this guy in. I popped it in too high. I'm gonna start from the bottom just to make this a little bit more easy. Pops in pretty good because the plastic is a nice thickness. That is too low. What am I missing here? Do I want it to be there? I guess it depends on how high you want your tab to be. If you go up at the top, it's going to be super high. I'm going to go down on the second one and see how that pops on. It's going to take some time to get used to popping things onto a coil, but there you have it. I like it 1 notch down because it doesn't stick out too high. It does add some width here. I mean, it adds some thickness to the planner because that's a pretty good size piece of plastic. But I actually like the feel of this divider compared to this one, which comes for free in your life planner or with your life planner. So I like that as a tab. I think that feels quite nice. And I like that we can slide in little vision boards here on both sides. Or maybe let's say you have a recurring, maybe you want to write down like your ideal day or gratitude every day or something. You could slide a sheet in there and have this be like your today tab, your actual bookmark for today. And when you open it up, you've got your ideal day. Maybe you've got a framework, some, things you want to be reflective of over the course of the day. You've got that reminder every day. And of course you can pull it out, pop it in on the next one. I feel like it'd be a lot of work to constantly be moving it. So I could see this being maybe something you want to lock and load at the back of your planner. But I do like that it's a set of 3. I think this is a great accessory. And I think Happy Planner would be wise to come up with something similar that is a nice hard plastic with the clear pocket on either side. I wish I had something to, this is going to be way too small, but just to show you the pocket here. It is a nice, clear, easy to see pocket. So we'll also try some HanCanPlan stickers inside these pockets as well, see how it goes. But yeah, I think this is a nice accessory. And I think that this helps people, especially if you're coming from the discbound world where everything is customizable. Like getting accessories like this, being able to get pop-on snap-in covers as well, helps make a coil planner not feel so permanent. So these are a strong yes for me. I like the thickness of the plastic, and I'm excited to create some dashboards that I can reference all the time. Okay, so let's talk about the life planner first. So the one that I picked out was the dashboard, and I have started writing some things down. So I have to remember actually what pages I can and cannot share. Okay, so it comes with a stencil divider thing, and it's all right. Like, I think it's handy if you want to do your own boxes, if you don't want to buy box stickers. You've got kind of all the boxes that you would need. I like that there's a thin, long one up there, and you also have this guy, which is like actually it's probably easier to see this way, but you also have one for a monthly calendar. So if you're someone that wants to keep everything low profile, you don't want to deal with stickers, or I'm not a big dot stencil person because I can use a dot pen. But if you don't have dot pens and you just want to draw things in yourself, this is free. It comes with the planner, so you don't need to buy any additional supplies, which is nice. And you have a tab that you can label if you want to. You have the ability to pick if you want like a floral design, if you want it to be neutral, if you want something more colorful. You can decide from, I think, 3 different colors. Again, I'm not an Erin Condren expert. I'm a newbie here. But you can also customize your coil. The default coil is this platinum color, and I didn't need to spend more money on a colorful coil. That just didn't seem important. And it's just, for me, it wasn't important. You might prefer rose gold, you might prefer gold, or they even have this sunset one that like is an ombre, and it was cool, but like, hello, I'm a neutral person that likes, I'm a business up front, party in the back kind of person. I like business, clean, neutral around my planner. And then when I get into the pages, that's when the color explodes. So anyways, I went with the canvas. I said a line. That's a Happy Planner collection. This is canvas. So the canvas colorway is neutral, and that is my cup of tea. And again, I changed the color here. Add a little pocket here from an old Cocoa Daisy kit. They make these inside pages, the inside cover, I guess I should say. They make them be so you can use wet erase pens. Does anybody actually do that? If you're coming from the Erin Condren world, does anybody actually use this dashboard like a dashboard with a wet erase pen? I'd be surprised if anybody, I'd be surprised if 5% actually do that. So I just put a pocket here, just because I was playing around. This first page is just a piece of vellum just to have a nice protector over your name page. I've heard that there used to be design and pattern here. I couldn't care less, so I'm fine with it being a plain. And then here is your opening page, and you can immediately feel what Erin Condren paper feels like. And again, I wouldn't use fountain pen. I wouldn't use a really thin nib or like fine point on this paper. I just feel like it needs something heftier because the paper is hefty, in my opinion. So we've got our front page, and then this first tab is it says 2025, 2026, and it's giving us basically July to December 2026. So it's giving us 18 months. Is that 18 months? 18 months. Although this is a 12-month planner that starts in July. Now, they also give you an open section that you can have be for whatever. Now, I went ahead, I was testing these pens, and I had each box on this 2-page spread be for the months, where I could kind of have them be a summary of each month. You could also use these to highlight important dates, anniversaries, like upcoming dates, like a future log. Normally, I like to see this in a vertical view, kind of like a year at a glance vertical view. Erin Condren doesn't do that. They do this. And if you don't need that year at a glance, you can just relabel them to anything you want. It can be goals. I mean, they say a little progress each day adds up to big results. So you could put these down or put down like 12 different goals if you want to. So we're going to jump over to June because I've already written stuff in for May. But one thing that I thought was cool about this planner was they do give you, even though it's a July start, they gave you May and June monthlies. So you can kind of start playing and moving in. I have been dabbling with figuring out which planner would work maybe for some social media projects, like work, basically. I'll just say for work. And so I have gotten some planner kits. I obviously have the HanCanPlan ones. I think this was like a kit from Planner Kate that I was playing with. I have always been a very strong anti-kit. I've had a strong anti-kit stance only because for me, creative play is so important, and pre-made kits are a little too instructive on where I have to use things, and I don't like that. But I can see why, especially in my daily planner, the Plum Paper Daily, I can see why a kit would be helpful when you don't want to take more time to do a bunch of flourishes and add a lot of deco. You just want to keep it to the meat and potatoes. I could see where having things be color coordinated would be helpful, and that's what's kind of opening my heart to specific contexts for kits. I'll just say it that way. My creative play is not going anywhere, but I could see where on a monthly it's helpful, and I could see where on a daily page where you're not constantly having to come up with like, I mean, I use rub-on transfers, I use stamps, I use all kinds of different stickers. I mean, I really like to play. But I could see where the monthly and the daily, you just maybe don't want to get into the weeds with that. I'm going to jump over July because I have started kind of playing around with this. So let's just take a look at what this layout looks like. So because I went with a super neutral, the dividers are very neutral. I like that it says the month of September really bold, but it's kind of muted still. The divider tabs are very neutral. If you got a more colorful planner or planner guts, your tabs are going to be colorful. And I have really been enjoying in the Plum Paper with the neutral dividers, having that be an opportunity for me to get super creative and to play. Just to show you, this is something I could certainly do in the Erin Condren. But here is my June divider tab because I went super neutral with the Plum Paper. So here is June, and then we've got July, and did I do May? May, I went a little bit more simple with May. But this is, you know, an opportunity if you want to stick to kits or you want to stick with just pen. The divider tab, especially on the Canvas version, is like primo real estate to do something like this over here. And I also decided to get the 7x9 because while I have been enjoying this A5 size Plum Paper, I'm wondering if I'll want more writing space for free thinking goals and ideas, and yeah, just more brain dumping about work stuff. So I wanted a little bit more space, which is why I was like, I have this in the A5. We'll try this is getting me into trying coil. And then we'll do Erin Condren in the 7x9 and see how we feel. So divider tab, this is what the monthly looks like. One thing I really don't like about the Erin Condren monthly is that it has holidays on it. I know most planners have holidays and dates on it, but I think I was spoiled with the plum paper because you can decide what holidays, if any, you want on your monthly view. You have no customization options with the Erin Condren. Everything is just there. And so many holidays I don't observe, and they just take up space on my monthly, and I'm not a fan of that. But again, the more I look at this paper and touch it, the more I love it. And opening up this monthly, seeing this kind of off-white toothy paper, I wasn't sure I was going to like it for a planner after being in a nice, smooth, buttery paper from Plum Paper. But I don't know, like there's room for this in my collection. And I don't know, I like the way that this looks. So we have our monthly, and we have a 5-week monthly, and a big notes section over here, totally open up at the top. I like how neutral this is because again, if I want to decorate it, I can. And if you wanted to get more color, like if you got one of the other options, there would be decor up here, but I didn't want that. So I like the way that the canvas looks. So nice big notes section. And then you go from your monthly, which is printed on your divider. People like to go off on Happy Planner about the monthlies being attached to the dividers. And I know that's because you can take the pages on and off, but standard procedure here with Erin Condren is your divider tab is on your monthly. And then we have our monthly dashboard, which I think is fabulous. I think this is the bee's knees when it comes to neutral, like let me decide how I want to use my monthly. If you're not gonna give me the option to remove the holidays on my monthly, then by George, let me decide what headers I want in my boxes. Other than this to-do box, which I think it's kind of silly. Like, why did they put to-dos here when these other ones are open? They should have just left this open. Obviously, if there are bullet lists, this says to-do. Or this is for to-dos. But what if I wanted this to be my ideal day and I actually used these circles for hourly time blocking? Now I got to cover this up and put ideal schedule with a sticker. I love stickering, but I don't think it was necessary that they put this as a header. But otherwise, I love open dashboard. This could be my top 4 priorities for the month. I've been putting like starting and finishing information each month. So starting weight, ending weight, starting subscriber count, ending subscriber count, like stuff like that. Maybe total step count, average step count per day, like kind of total information I would definitely put in this box. We've got open lined boxes here for whatever. You do have a header here, a header space here. So you could label this section if you want. And then this doesn't have a header spacing. It's just lines. And then on this side, totally open lines. I love this because I'm going to explode this thing with stickers and make this what I want it to be. This is where kits do come in handy. If you've got box stickers that fit a 7x9, you know, you can kind of Tetris them together the way that you want and make an extended dashboard. So I do think that that is nice. And this is the new dashboard layout and I like it. Normally I'm like don't give me headers, but for some reason, like they don't bother me over here. I think the font is chef's kiss. I love a sans serif clean font. The lines are a very light gray. There's nothing overly like black and harsh about it, which means it will be easy to cover if I want to. So we've got our Monday through Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you have an open box over here. If you guys want me to do a side-by-side, like let's chat about the differences between the Erin Condren dashboard and the Happy Planner Classic dashboard. Let me know, leave a comment, and maybe we can just chat about the differences between these planners. But I like this layout. The coil is really, I'm enjoying the coil because I can flip it on itself easily. I was a disc-bound planner user for the longest time. I still have disc-bound planners and I still use them periodically. But now that I have a toddler, I am less patient with the pages popping up. And the coil option just keeps everything together. I'm not worried about Esther coming over and pulling a page. And so, and I like how easily it folds on itself without the pages popping up, which does happen with the disc-bound. You can flip it on itself, but you know, the page might start to come up a little bit. So I like that I can do this and have full control over my page. I know that people have griped about how it goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, rather than Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and space. I couldn't care less. It doesn't make that much of a difference to me. But if you are using kits, this is where it's going to be handy. You can easily redate this and relabel it, decorative date as I like to call it, and have it be Monday through Thursday, Friday through Sunday if you want to. And then you could add a little notes sticker. So nothing offensive here, in my opinion, with the placement of the days of the week. And then your dashboard side is, I think, pretty good. Interesting that they are presuming there are 6 habits that everybody wants to track. I bet if they just did 3, people would be like, it's not enough. So they did 6 and people are like, it's too many. But again, kits that are made for Erin Condren users and Erin Condren planners are going to allow you to cover up the whole section if you want to, or a part of the section if you want to. So we've got a big priority section here, a habits section, and then 2 columns of to-dos. I like a split to-do list because if I'm using this as my catch-all, I'm going to want one that's for home and one that's for work. And instead of having this be one long vertical to-do list where I've got to differentiate with color coding or splitting it, I don't have to do that because we've got our 2 columns next to each other. So I think that's nice. I like the split right in the middle. And then I like the open notes pages, or the open notes section. Plenty of space to write, plenty of space to add some decor if you want to. And I think this is a nice dashboard layout. I do. I really am liking I'm finding that my favorite planner layouts have a week on one page and then note space on the other page. Now, this is more structured than, like a Hobonichi Weeks, but where it's a blank on the other side, or like my Hemlock and Oak, where I've got horizontal all the days on this side and then open on this side. But it is a bit of a nod to that with a little bit more structure. And I don't need the week on 2 pages. I would much rather have brain dump space. So I like that. This paper is really nice, guys. Like, if you're not a fountain pen user and you use other pens, I think that you'll like the way that this feels. I like that there's open lines on that last weekly, by the way. But it's a really nice paper. I think they use Mohawk paper, right? 80-pound Mohawk paper. It is off-white, so it's not a bright white, but I actually think that makes us feel a bit more mature in a good way, not like a granny way, but in a quality kind of way. I don't know. There's something I like about it. Now here we've got a split month weekly with September into October. And I like that they've included both of that up there. So that's nice. And the dividers aren't going to be anything special. They're just going to continue all the way through with that same kind of design. Now at the back, actually I need to hide something. Hold on. At the back, you get a note section. Pretty sure I did not add this, so I think this is default. You get a note section with a divider, and I can just open this up. And I have, I think, 20 pages of notes here at the back, just lined. And then, I have been playing with this, guys, so pardon my hiding things. Then you have the upcoming year at a glance, 2027, January through December. And I think this is really nice. I'm glad they included it in the back, so it's not taking up room in the front or distracting you and confusing you at the front. But you've got room for 3 bullets. And then you have like lines down here at the bottom, which is really nice. I'm a fan. Then we have stickers at the back. Not a huge fan of Erin Condren stickers, just not my aesthetic. I'm not a big metallic person, and all of these have metallic on them, but you've got some header stickers, some button stickers, as I call them. Today, this week, to do canceled. We've got habit tracker stickers. I think they're nice. I just wish they didn't have gold foiling on them. I'd be more likely to use these if they didn't have gold foiling. I'll just say that. We have a celebrations page with birthdays and fun dots. Then we have I used one or tested one out. We've got header stickers or labels. You can see the shape of that through there. And then I was testing out my plum paper custom stickers in there. They fit, in case you're curious. But it comes with a folder at the back. And it is double-sided, so you can put stuff on both sides, which is nice. And then again, if you want to use a wet erase pen, you can with this lined on the back. But again, is anybody doing that? Let me know. I need to know these things. Super plain on the back, nothing exciting going on there. So that is the dashboard planner. Now, this is what I purchased first, and that's what got me the 20% off, and that's what prompted me to buy this, which I like more, because my plan was to use this for work. But then I was like, okay, hold on, Elizabeth. Do you really want this kind of weekly for work? Or do you just want note pages and a monthly overview? When I ordered this, things changed. My heart changed. Because there's something kind of cool about this one. So we're just going to jump. It's going to have the same, well, actually, let me show you this first, because I found this confusing. And maybe if you are a Erin Condren super user, you can tell me. I think this is a little shady, actually, if this is what they did. But are the monthly planners 18-month planners? Are they? Because this planner, which I thought was a 12-month planner that starts in January, this guy has a 2024-2025 tab. Now again, this one, which is a July start, is 2025-2026. That's what it's showing here, 2025 and 2026. This is a January start, so it already started. We're several months in. This says 2024-2025, and look how the January tab is in the third location. Technically, shouldn't the January tab be located where the July tab is? Right here. I kind of feel like they sold this as a 12-month planner when it was really an 18-month planner, because I don't need 2024. Like, I understood that I purchased this in May, and I understood that January, February, March, and April, 4 months I was already 4 months in. But I don't know. I just feel like if the price was for an 18-month planner, but they gave me a 12-month, they should have lowered the price to be a 12-month planner price. Does that make sense? And this should say, this should just say 2025, right? Or 2025, 2026. Because if this started in January, shouldn't this start in January 2025? Should I reach out to customer service? Maybe I will, actually, the more I think about it. This should start in January 2025. Unless this is an 18-month planner and they sold it as a 12-month planner. And half of this is like irrelevant information. So, but let's just take a look. So this is what it looks like without me having added the dates. And actually, that's interesting. I don't remember seeing, were there asterisks on this one? No. So I actually prefer this in the July 2025. There's no asterisks here. This has an asterisk. And actually the font is a little different as well between what I now think is a 2024-2025 planner. But those are small things. I'm not worried about the font difference there or really the asterisk, but I wish that it wasn't there. So we've got that, and then we go into January. And we'll just look at January as an example, even though I've already started using this for May. Now, this is your monthly. Looks pretty much the same. Actually, comparison, because they are supposedly the same canvas design. Font is different. Got an asterisk there. And then instead of it saying notes, it has the asterisk. Are we in the frame? Can you guys see that okay? There we go. Actually don't mind it right there. I think that's fine. Font appears the same on the day headers. Oh, the font is actually different in the monthly as well. So the 3, or if you look at that 4, well, look at the 2, 3, 4, much more fancy in the 2025 or 2024 monthly, much more clean and simple in the life planner. Now the monthly planners, I checked before filming, they're no longer listed on the website. So I think that they've pulled them. They put them up for 50% off. I think they've pulled them, and I'm guessing that the monthly planners are going to be coming out soon. So stay tuned for that if you like this layout. But you have your monthly, then this I think is very cool. Your monthly dashboard has different headers than the previous one. We have a big goal section, important dates, important projects, and then you have a month's worth of tracking of 4 different things. Now, I was thinking that this was going to be, that the life planner, the dashboard life planner was going to be my choice for like a work notebook. Okay, let's just do a little side by side here. This is the life planner in the dashboard size or dashboard style, and this is the monthly planner. And this to me is more work appropriate, actually. However, they don't have lines in these ones. These have lines and more structure. There are no lines here, and I wish that there were lines because I write super crooked. So I'm gonna have to add some structure and some lines here, but I like goals. It's much more work appropriate for me. I like the important dates, so this could be upcoming releases, launches, maybe contractual obligations I can put here. And then projects would be, actually maybe this would be, well, I can't say what this would be, but this would be my important projects. And then here is where maybe I could track just different statistics or something like that. So I think this is more work friendly, but just wanted to do a comparison of the monthly from last year or this year. I'm going to confuse myself, and the new life planner. They are both the canvas design, but the fonts are different. So let's keep going with this though. And let me tell you why I'm excited about the monthly option, why I wish I had bought the monthly, and I wish it was more customizable. So you have this dashboard, you go from your monthly to your dashboard, and then you just have lined pages. And what I like about this is if I want to create a weekly, I can do that with a stencil. I can do that with stickers. Like I can bujo my own weekly layout with these lined pages. It is not dissimilar from a Happy Planner monthly, which is another comparison video I should do. But even less structure. So instead of having all those different bullets on the monthly for Happy Planner, you just have lined pages, and that's it. So I think this could be a really great work planner / work notebook, where if I'm totally separating my work stuff from my home stuff, this is great because I do have monthly meetings. I could use a page for my monthly meeting notes. I could do a page for mapping out content. I could do a page for budget or finance, like my expenses and earnings and stuff like that. And it has like all the space that I need. But wait. So that is all what a monthly looks like. It's just these line pages. But wait, there's more. At the very end, I did an add-on. I did indeed. And actually, I need to, hold on, let me check this. I don't think I've written on these. This is where things get complicated. I did add on a work tab for projects. I think it's like the project layout or project planning layout. And you can add the customizing for Erin Condren kind of ends with being able to add additional notes pages or specialty pages. And this is the project pages. Let's just go to a regular one. So here is side 1. You've got a space to put what the project is, the details of the project, the resources needed, start and end date, other important dates, and then you have 2 vertical lists. These pages are perforated. These are perforated pages, so you can actually very cleanly rip this out and put it on a clip folio, or recycle it when you're done with it, or archive it somewhere. So I like that this work section has pages that can come out cleanly. The back of the project page is lined and simple. So if you need additional space for your project, you've got lines on the back. And I believe this pack was 40. I was doing some testing there. 40 or 20, I can't remember. But for the types of work that I do, I actually have projects with companies that have multiple elements to them, that have multiple deadlines to them, and it is incredibly confusing. And I want to have these collated into my monthly so that, like, I'm an ambassador for Archer and Olive and I'm on the design team for Cocoa Daisy. So I want one sheet for Archer and Olive every month, and I want one sheet for Cocoa Daisy every month. And I want it to be within the month. And I wish that the pages, you could choose to either have them tabbed separately in the back or dispersed amongst your monthlies. That is something that Plum Paper does. And I really am sad that they don't do it here, because now I have two options. I can pull these out. I mean, I could unperforate them and repunch or like glue them onto a lined page, but then I'm losing out on a lined page. Or I can actually uncoil this whole section and distribute it back in. And I'm thinking I'm going to do that. I may or may not film it because I need a drink of water. Hold on. I'm scared to do new things on camera for fear of looking like an idiot. But I want two project pages. I'd probably put them right here. So I would go from my monthly to my monthly dashboard. And then this is my, like, getting into the details with two of my contracts. I'd have my two project pages, because what I was doing actually was I started playing around in the dashboard planner. Before I bought this one, I was actually setting up almost exactly this same layout on the lined page on this monthly dashboard, in the dashboard layout. I was creating, let me go back here. This is the dashboard planner. I was drawing in or creating these boxes here. So I can still do that if I want to have a weekly planner for work, but I kind of prefer the idea of getting these project pages up into each month. So I know we've covered a lot. This has been a long video, but because this is my first experience buying an Erin Condren planner and really kind of thinking about what I could want, yeah, I wanted to make sure I went through all the details with you guys in case you're like me and you either like trying different planners or your planner system is not currently working for you, and we're getting to that 6-month mark where we are assessing, like, is our life more organized? Are we in a better place than we were 6 months ago? If not, it might be time to try a different layout, maybe try a different binding system. I think they're all good. I see a use for book binding. I see a use for the coil. I see a use for the disc, the twin loop. I love the twin loop style. So I see a use for all the things. And there's room at the table on my channel for all of them. Even if you follow me because you are an Archer and Olive person and you don't care about Erin Condren, I'm still going to put out information that could be helpful to some folks. So I hope that this was helpful. I see the most potential in this monthly planner. I'm going to be honest. I'm the most excited about the monthly if I can get the project pages up here at the front with my monthly dashboard. Okay, so that is my Erin Condren stuff. I do want to take some time now to look at stickers because I said I was going to do that even though this video is epically long. But such is, you know, me. Epically long, typically. I try to keep things short, but I like to just talk about things. So we are going to talk about, since we're in the Erin Condren world in this video, we're going to talk about kits, why you would want them, well, actually, I already said why you'd want them. I'm just going to share with you kids stickers from HanCanPlan. She's a shop on Etsy. She's been around for a long time. This was my first ever order from HanCanPlan. So if you are looking for a sticker shop that does kits that match Erin Condren sizing, this could be a really good one. So it's Hannah from HanCanPlan. She's on Instagram. She's on YouTube. She is, I would say, high key a Erin Condren expert. So I feel like she would nail it on sticker kits. But let's get through, let's see this is what she has in the shop. I will leave her link or her shop link down in the description box. Again, not an affiliate for her. She did send me some extras. My link for Etsy is an affiliate link though. So I don't get anything if you shop for her stuff, but my Etsy link is an affiliate link. Okay, so let's look at the freebies first. I love a good deco sticker sheet. So this is the deluxe freebie with a fun florals. And I did a quick look through of these just to pull out my invoice, and her cuts are fabulous. Like very kiss cut, very tight cut, which I highly appreciate when it comes to paper stickers. I don't like a wide cut. And that's one thing that you do lose when you go for a sticker book from a sticker book company or from a small shop that does sticker books. Their cuts are not going to be as precise as someone with a small shop who has designed the sticker sheets and have calibrated their printers just so, or their cutters just so. The kiss cut on all of her stickers are fabulous. I just want to say that right off the bat. So this freebie coordinates with this, and we have some header boxes. I'm a big fan of dash boxes. I feel like they are so cool looking. They give me the Bujo vibes. I'm a big fan. And then we have Monday through Sunday. So if we wanted to change out some dates, we have a fun little flag here. Maybe that'll cover like the weekend or something like that. But already you can see like everything's coordinated, and that's why you might want to get into kits. So this is the $50 plus freebie. Yes, I spent more than $50. I've spent a lot of money lately trying different things. And it's been a lot of fun, but now I have a lot of things that I need to like hone in on and figure out what I want. But just to show you, this is a washi strip or a long strip sticker, and you can just see how nice her cuts are. I'm trying to get this with the black background. Can you see that? Like her cuts are lovely, like so good. So if you spend over 50, you get some freebies, which are really fun. And I like that these colors are bright and happy and very summery. So those are the freebies. Now, this is what got me to purchase from her. I saw this collection of like farmhouse, and I thought it was the cutest thing ever, and I had to have it. So this first collection is, I can't remember what she calls it, but it was farmhouse, something farmhouse. And again, not an Erin Condren expert, but you guys, if you are, will know how to use these things and where they fit. But this is the this is sized for the dashboard planner. So this supposedly will fit perfectly. Even these checkbox stickers will fit perfectly in the dashboard planner. I need some tweezers to put these back on. And I'm not actually, should we? I don't want to get into the weeds too much. If you guys want to see me do a plan with me in Erin Condren using a kit, if you want to see Elizabeth's version of doing kits in an Erin Condren, please let me know. Leave a comment if it's something you'd like to see. Otherwise, I think these planners are pretty much going to stay offline. I'm not sure how much I'd share them because it's work related. But here is the dashboard page 1. So we've got these small number stickers. These are going to be popped into these circles here. And that's how you are able to, I'm going to zoom in here. Sorry, guys. So you just add these little dots in here to date your weekly. You've got strips for to-dos, you have habit trackers, and these are going to perfectly fit over the habit trackers in the dashboard. Let me grab this. So we'll just do this for just to show you. So here is a habit tracker sticker, and this is going to fit perfectly right like over it. And you might be wondering like why it's already printed that way. It's because it's fun, guys. It's fun to play with stickers. It's fun to add pops of color and to customize your planner spreads. That's what it's all about. So these are going to perfectly fit over these. These washi strips are going to fit across the page. If you wanted to cover up this section and add a little pop of something, you can. And these guys, when you add your dates into these dots, you can just put right over the dates here. And then this guy, since we're here, again, I should probably do just a video of this, but this is sized to perfectly line up inside the lines. See that? Perfectly lined up. So that's why people like kits, because everything fits custom to their planners. It's definitely a different world for me because I'm coming from bullet journaling and from Happy Planner. And so the Erin Condren kind of kit game is just so different for me. But I'm trying to learn all the ways so I can be a jack of all trades. So anyways, dashboard page 1, dashboard page 2, love this one. So these headers are going to fit over your categories here. So you can leave this as priorities and put this priorities guy right here. We've got to do, you can replace it with that fun to do. We've got notes, meals, work. So she's given us some additional words here if we want to change out what these are called. And then these boxes right here are going to fit perfectly in your or over your priorities box. I love the dashed lines. This is if you want to like divide your to-do list maybe, or if you wanted to divide your day. Actually, I think that's probably that would fit there. If you wanted to divide your priorities, or if you wanted to divide your day with like appointments and meetings and then to-dos, you could split it that way. So that's one of the ways that you can use these dashed lines, is just use them as dividing lines. You could also use them to underline things if you want to. I'm just going to take a little bit more time with this first kit just because it's new to me, and then we'll move a little bit more quickly through the other ones. So that is dashboard page 2, and this is where people get kits, right? You've got one that's got your habit trackers and your dates, then you've got headers and task lists, and this is a long one, so this is going to fit nicely maybe in your notes section if you want to. Washi is just fun to kind of change up the pattern on the page. Then we have dashboard page 3. These are going to be your functional headers or boxes, whatever you want to call them. And these are going to fit perfectly in your, pull this back over. These are going to fit perfectly in your days of the week. Perfectly. This is a little bit smaller. So this, if you wanted to create a section where you've got your appointments over here, they're only taking up half the space, right? You could put the smaller ones here and then have bullets over here. You know what I mean? I think I should do a plan with me in an Erin Condren. What do you guys think? I don't think that I would do them frequently, but if it would be helpful for you guys to see how I would use these, let me know. This is an add-on, and make sure you're paying attention to the numbers up at the top because that's what you can look up in our Etsy shop. But this is an add-on with like headers, or she calls them scripts, and they're just fun ways to add little notes in your planner. So book club, self-care, shopping day, to clean, church, payday, pay bills, work at home, hair appointment, run errands, pizza night, doctor's appointment. Just a fun way to add a little extra font, fun, and color, and everything is coordinated. So you can see this perfectly matches this collection. Now, I am a decorative and creative planner, so I like lots of decorative stickers, and I am very minimal with my boxes. Very minimal. And so I was excited to see that she offers decorative sheets that coordinate with the boxes. So it's not just about the kits that cover up the days of the week. It's about decorative elements to create scenes. And so these are the bonus decor sheets, and there's one in paper and then there's one in a transparent matte. And I got both because I see a use for both styles, and I can already see like her cuts are so good, you guys. Like Her sticker cuts are amazing. And her white sticker paper is really nice as well. It feels really nice. So here is the bonus decor for this collection, Farmhouse Collection. Then she has journaling pages, which I think are really nice sheets if you want to add more whimsy, more play. We've got some torn pieces. We've got additional days of the week, some banners, some kind of ripped header labels, squiggly header labels, and again, more labels. I just think that these are fun. I love the little extra flourishes that you can use, very similar to Planner Kate. I mean, I would say they're basically the same, pretty similar, but HanCanPlan is, you know, much smaller shop, and I don't know, I kind of like supporting the little guy, you know what I mean? So very cute. This is journaling page 2. So if you want more headers and longer strips, you can go this route. This is a fun sticker. So this guy is, it looks like a, you know, like a Polaroid picture, but it's got little icons that you can actually take out. So the idea being that these are functional stickers that you can use, right? These little guys. And then you can peel this whole thing out or off, and you have a perfect box frame, and you'd be writing directly on the planner once you lift this piece off. So I think that's really cute. I love the extra little swatches of color. Maybe if you're doing some, you know, you want to highlight something, you can do that. So that is journaling page 2, and then journaling page 3, very fun. Again, dashed boxes I think are cool. Love these little Bujo style boxes. I love the flags. If you want to date a different way, do it that way. Ripped pages, some little clips, some extra banners. Very cute. So I think the journaling pages are probably my favorite. When I look at kits across companies, I think the journaling kits are just the most adorable. And then the weekly overview, I think, is a really nice functional one if you don't want to use a lot of boxes, but you want to change out the fonts. Look at all these different words that we have. Social media, this week, important, scriptures, meal planning, to clean, errands, bills, habits, home, reading, to go. We've got some extra little swashes of color, a Monday through Sunday. So let's say you wanted to have like a meal planning section in your planner. You could, you know, put this down over some lines and create your own little, you know, section. I like this little week of banner. Love the font and style of these headers up here. This is just really cute. These dots are actually all connected, which I think is fun. And again, you can see just how good her cuts are. Really, really good cuts. So this is the complete collection of the farmhouse design that just released, and this is what caught my eye from her shop. You can pick and choose whatever sheet you want. So if you know you're not going to be a box person, don't buy page 3, dashboard page 3. If you know you want headers, you're going to want to do page 2. If you know that you like the journaling style, but maybe not the boxes, maybe get journaling 1, 2, 3, and then get like the decor sheet. So I think that's just a fun way to kind of mix and match what you want. So that is that collection. I'm going to move more quickly with these ones, with the rest of these actually, because it's going to be the same thing. These are just examples of what a kit could be, and how you can see everything's like cohesive. So this next one is, I want to say it was called Vacay, like summer vacay. So I just thought this would be fun for summer. So again, we've got the dates here, and these go into those white spots. So you can decorative date, and then you also have your strips. So that's K161. Then K161B, these are boxes that can add more decor in your dailies. So if you knew you didn't have a lot going on on Tuesday, this whole, like if you look at this is going to fit perfectly in half of the page or half of that section. Then you could add some like one of those dash line stickers and then have it be functional on the other side. So this is just a fun way to add more decorative elements. And then we have functional boxes down here. This is actually a separate sticker, these guys down here. So I think that's actually a good use of sticker paper, the way that she did that, having those 4 functional boxes down there. So that is K161B. Then we have more boxes. These are smaller. These are good for appointments. That's K161C. K161D. So I think the first kit, the farmhouse kit, and maybe if Hannah watches this, she can clarify. But the first kit that was the farmhouse, that was like made for dashboard planners. I think this is more of like a catch-all. Will probably fit multiple planners because these layouts are a little bit different. But K161D, this is like a sampler with some scripts, some icons, and everything. Even the little icons match the color collection for vacay, which I think is really sweet. We've got Monday through Sunday if you wanted to do like meal planning there, or maybe your step count for the week, or maybe when you went to the gym, or what pages you read in your book, you could log that there. And I like the big weekend sticker. That's nice and fun. We have some deco strips, 161E. Oh, this is different. This is 166B. This is the days add-on. So we've got 2 different weekly dates here. We've got a Monday script, a Friday script, a Hello Weekend. And then I like this. This is good for, I guess if I wanted to redate and start at the beginning on that monthly planner that was supposedly a January start. These are white, so I can easily cover up the dates and redate with this guy. And I like that we have 2 dates worth of redating. Then we have our bold add-on 166C. I love these. This is another great way if you don't want to add boxes to cover up the pre-printed headers. You can just lay these down because these are paper, beautifully kiss cut. Love that the colors match the decor. And yeah, you can make the headers whatever you want them to be in your boxes. So lots of different options here. Then we have our bonus decor for this collection. Very vacay vibes, which I like. And I got these in paper because I figured I was more likely to want to cover up lines with this collection. So love the bonus decor. And then we have our journaling pages. Again, big fan of these ones. You've got fun script for your days of the week. We've got some faux torn stickers, some fun header stickers. Here's this guy again. Love that. Love the headers here. We can change these out on the right side of our dashboard. This week, reading, meal plan, cleaning, projects, memories, habits. And then this is probably my favorite. Journaling sheet 3, I think, is my favorite of the journaling sheets. Although, I don't know, A is pretty nice too. But I love these again. And our little Bujo style boxes, little header stickers. Love these little separators here. Very cute. So that was the vacay. Beach vacay, summer vacay, I can't remember. This is the next collection. Cannot remember what this one is called, but it's very, very pretty, very summer picnicky. So this is K152A. Again, use those dates to populate our days of the week boxes. Beautiful strips to kind of, frame out our page. This is K15B2. These are square boxes, unlike, let me see if I can find it. Where'd it go? Hold on. These ones are a little bit longer. So this was a perfect fit to go from the top of the day, bottom of the day. This size, the K152B2. So actually, if this is B must be the longer ones, and then B2 is if you want the shorter ones. This is going to fit like right here, and you're going to have space up at the top. But very pretty. And I love these extra boxes. Because these aren't as long, we've got 8 of these smaller header boxes, which I think is nice. Then we've got our smaller boxes, good for appointments. These kind of two-toned ones are great for appointments. So you put the time of the appointment in the lighter box, and then you put what the appointment is in the darker area. We have our extra scripts. This is K152D. And again, I love that the icons are color-coded. So everything will match for the week. And then we have our paper strips, K152E. Then these were some bonus items that she threw in that I was really excited to see. So these are dashboard pages, and I didn't see these in the shop, actually. Maybe they're like brand new, I don't know. But weekly dashboard, so these again are going to fit perfectly in the Erin Condren dashboard. So we've got our strips here, our days of the week, if we want to cover them up, our dates that pop into these spots. We've got our checklists that will fit perfectly in your days, our habit trackers that are going to cover up our habit trackers. Then we have our header. This is dashboard page 2. So our header boxes, our little flags, these bullet strips, boxes that will cover up the priority box, and then these dash divider lines. I love the dash divider lines. I want like sheets and sheets of these. I know I could do it with a ruler and a pen, but sometimes playing with stickers is more fun. Then we have dash 165. This is page 3. And the width of this is perfectly going to fit into your days. I love that it will cover the full, I'll give you a full coverage for each day. So those are the dashed lines in that collection. Then, oh, I forgot I got some non-kit stuff too. I think this is the last kit, and then I'll show you the extra little things I got. So this is the 7x9 Erin Condren monthly dashboard. I didn't even look at the monthly ones, but smart because, oh, and I'm going to use, this might be fun to do in my monthly January or July monthly, but here we can replace the boring July with our kind of picnic Americana colors. Love that we've got little header words that we can put in that notes section. This long task list or checklist will fit on that notes section. This guy looks like it's going to fit. Actually, if this is monthly dashboard, this probably fits in the actual dashboard. I think it's for the monthly dashboard. Hold on, y'all. Let's go over to July. Let's just look at this for a second. Oh yeah. So, well, that doesn't quite fit. That is a perfect fit. These guys are a perfect fit. I guess you could cover up this area, or is it meant to be? I think these are actually meant to be for your dashboard page here, if you wanted to change things out. And then you could take the bullet lists here and actually customize this section. So that's probably what I would do. Oh, I see. This is one giant sticker. So if you didn't want to do, I'm so off camera. I'm sorry, guys. So these ones, the 7x9 EC monthly dashboard is meant for the actual dashboard page. So this is one giant sticker. If you didn't want to do tracking, you could cover up the whole thing with additional line space. Oh, that's actually quite nice. And then this checklist I probably would use on the lined page section. So lots of different ways you can play with this. Honestly, I always use stickers in ways that they're not like meant to be used. Like I do what works for me. So while kits are meant to custom fit things, which is very satisfying, just know you can use them wherever you want, just so you know. Okay, so K159A, we've got some fun ice cream, and I love the design on this. It looks like pool water. It's very pretty for our days of the week. We've got our box, and well, these are the square decorative boxes with the pool and the watermelon and the fruits. So cute. So that was K159B2. This is C, so the smaller boxes. Then we've got K159D for more functional headers, functional headers. And then we have fun strips to add some texture to our pages. So that's a really fun one if you're wanting more like beachy, fruity, or pooly, fruity, etc. And then the last two items I picked up just kind of a la carte, they weren't part of a kit, were these two. I really like doodles, and I liked these doodle dot stickers. So these are BB, so bold bloom. These are the bold bloom colors from Erin Condren. These are doodle circles, FBB004. And then I really like Happy Mail stickers. I'm like always on the hunt for package stickers just because I order a lot of things. I show a lot of things. I receive product, and I just like logging in my planner like when something arrives in the mail. So I got these really cute little Happy Mail stickers. So that is everything I got from HanCanPlan. The last thing we're going to do, oh my gosh, this video is way too long, but I wanted to see how these kit related stickers fit in a couple things. One, I wanted to see how they fit in here. They will fit, but I'm afraid I'm going to ruin it. So I probably wouldn't put stickers in there unless they are smaller like that. Actually, there is a smaller sheet in here. Wasn't there a smaller sheet? Yeah, like these smaller guys. I would do that. And then wanted to see how these would fit. Just grab a few. If they would fit in here. Of course, these narrow ones are going to fit no problem. Let me just do that first. Easy peasy. Now, if you're wanting to put stickers in here, I would say don't do it because the paper is going to get caught on the mesh, but they will fit, I think, just fine. I would probably trim off a little bit of the width to get these to fit better. A lot of these have an okay margin if you're okay with losing. Well, actually, we're going this way. So you've got enough margin, I think, on a lot of these sticker sheets to trim them down if you want to be able to put them in here. The other thing you could do if you didn't want to deal with putting them in your pockets is you could just leave them loose if you wanted to. I wouldn't, but you absolutely could. So you'd have to trim these a little bit if you want the kind of default size sticker sheets to fit inside this guy. The other thing I wanted to do was see how sticker sheets would fit in here if you wanted to use this for sticker storage. Again, not something I would do because these are so much shorter. I'd be afraid of breaking the plastic. I mean, I guess if you don't, yeah, I mean, even me kind of pulling it open created some little dents in the plastic. So you could do it that way if you wanted to store stickers in this dashboard, but I personally wouldn't want to put anything in here that I'm wanting to take out regularly because I don't know if you can see, but that already, see that? Kind of bent that a little bit. All right, friends, I feel like I've been as thorough as I can. If you have any questions, please let me know. But also keep in mind, I am not a Erin Condren super user. And so I don't know how much help I'll be, but I am always open to answering your questions if you need some help. So you guys just holler at me. Check out HanCanPlan. I think her stickers are really cute. I think the quality of her cuts is phenomenal. And if you are new to Erin Condren or you've never purchased from Erin Condren, my recommendation, if you're curious, would be buy one pack of pens in earth tones if they're still available, and buy a notebook so that you can see what her paper actually feels like and see if you like her paper, because it is so different than any of the other planners that I have. And I do think, oh, didn't realize that had that kind of debossing there. It's so different that, yeah, I think it would be worth feeling it to see, yeah, what it feels like to you and if you like the writing experience. Because like I said, these on the Mohawk paper is so good. So, all right, friends, come hang out with me over on Instagram. My handle is The Joyful Sojourn. Again, please let me know if you would like to see a plan with me in an Erin Condren planner. I've never done it before, but if it's something that you are interested in, comment, because if I get one comment, I'll be like, oh, maybe I don't do it. But if I get a lot of comments saying like, yeah, I definitely want to see Elizabeth's version of an Erin Condren setup, then I'll go ahead and film it. So, all right, friends, I guess until next time, God bless you. God bless you and keep you do something creative today. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.